New year, new me. Real Madrid want Mane. Off. Real Madrid want Mane. Juventus might let Rabiot go. Pogba's out again. There's a New Year footballing feast and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Frolic. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the first daily news of 2020. So first off, and apparently Real Madrid have made contact with the representatives of Sadio Mane ahead of a potential transfer for the Senegalese forward. Now we all know he's been Liverpool's arguably best player over the last 18 months, and coming fourth in the Ballon d'Or rankings shows that. He could go on to be the best player this year. I'm pretty sure if Liverpool go on to win the title, I've no doubt Sadio Mane will definitely be in contention for the Ballon d'Or. So will he be playing for Real Madrid by the time that award ceremony comes around? It looks maybe less than likely, but never say never in football. Apparently, although there hasn't been the official offer just yet, the contact has been made because they want to see whether or not Mane is actually open to a move to the Bernabeu. On the flip side of this though, Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp will probably ask for over 150 million for the 27-year-old. As I said, he's been in fine form this season and looks like he's becoming even more important to Liverpool than Mo Salah is. The one caveat to this though, if they do go on and sell him, well, they could bring in Jadon Sancho for that kind of money. It's a rumour that the Dortmund man is on the edge of leaving the club, and there's obviously a lot of suitors for the talented Englishman. Around 150 million or more they make from Mane would definitely go toward bringing in Jadon Sancho, so Liverpool could have a replacement who is 7 or 8 years younger. But if you're not buying into that big story, how about a slightly more realistic one? And that is that Adrien Rabiot could be leaving Juventus after just 6 months. There was this whole rigmarole last season about him being relegated to the PSG reserves after saying he wouldn't play for the French club anymore. Juventus brought him in on a pre-contract, meaning they signed him for free, and it turns out he's absolutely rubbish. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too harsh, but his performances in Serie A this season have been far from what they've been expecting, so much so that they could make quite a bit of money on him. I say quite a bit of money, it's not just 30 million, which isn't a huge amount, but it's 30 million profit because, as I mentioned, they signed him on a free. Arsenal and Everton have both been linked with the midfielder, but it looks like Arsenal may just be able to pip the Merseyside rivals into bringing the Frenchman into the club. The reason this may be happening is that Juventus are currently on the brink of bringing Dejan Kulusevski, the winger who is on loan from Atalanta at Parma, for around 35 to 40 million euros. They need to fund this move by bringing in some money, so Rabiot looks to be on the way out. As for what it means at Arsenal, well, we'll discuss that in just a little bit. But moving on to their opponents from yesterday's game and to Manchester United, where midfielder Paul Pogba is injured yet again. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that he may even have to have surgery on his ankle, which could keep him out for another month. He played 2 games over the Christmas period, and those were his only 2 in the 3 months before that because, yet again, of injury. It looks like Pogba's literally not only injuring himself, but injuring the chances of a big move. There's been talk of a return to Juventus and a big money move to Real Madrid, but are either club going to really go and spend 120 million plus on a player who is constantly injured and even when he's back in the team is far from consistent? I can't see it happening just yet. It looks like because of this, he will be staying at Manchester United for the January transfer window, and then of course we'll probably see what happens again in the summer, where no doubt another saga will ensue for the whole 3 months. But talking about Manchester United and Arsenal, and yesterday's game was a fantastic victory for Mikel Arteta. The new boss is off to a flying start at home with his first victory for the Gunners. This was sealed by Nicolas Pepe and Socrates in the first half, and really Arsenal just outplayed their opponents. It was a very good day for them, which saw rival Spurs lose at Southampton. Chelsea were held at Brighton by a stunning overhead kick, and alongside this, although not really related to Arsenal's challenge to get back into the top 4, David Moyes got off to a fantastic start back at West Ham with a 4-0 victory over Bournemouth. Of course, Manchester City and Leicester both won their games to close the gap on Liverpool, although they could re-extend that by beating Sheffield United tonight. So with that New Year's Day bonanza out of the way, we of course have headed into the transfer window. We've already seen the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic move back to AC Milan and Erling Braut Haaland join Dortmund. So what else is going on in the transfer news? This is where we come to our quick little roundup. So Spurs could be selling Jan Vertonghen to either Ajax or Napoli to avoid losing him on a free in the summer. Jurgen Klopp has said that Adam Lallana may be leaving the club when his contract runs out in the summer. Mikel Arteta has said that Granit Xhaka will be staying with the club and not moving on loan to Hertha Berlin. And although it's not really transfer related, David Beckham's Inter Miami FC have their first new coach. This momentous role belongs to the Uruguayan Diego Alonso, who will be in charge for their first ever game against LAFC on March the 1st. So that's all from me for today, and if you're wondering where the power rankings are, well, the English League's the only league that's going on at the moment due to the winter break, so it would be a little bit unfair if we put all of the players in Europe up against the Premier League superstars. That'll return in a few weeks' time, but of course, let me know in the comment section all of your thoughts on the rest of today's daily news and all of the transfer rumours that are flying about this time of year. Whilst you're there, you can also smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.